When did you realize your family saw you as free labor? I was on the roof of our house in July, laying shingles alone, when my foot slipped and I slid 20 feet and caught the gutter with both hands. A guy doing yard work at the house next door saw the whole thing and came sprinting across 2 lawns while I hung there. He got a ladder under me and talked me down. Once my feet hit the grass, he looked up at the half-finished roof, then at me, and asked where the contractor was. I said there wasn't one. It was just me. Just you. How old are you? 15. His face did something I'll never forget. You're 15 and roofing a 2-story house by yourself? He called it in. An ambulance for my hands, which were torn up bad, and then the police because he wouldn't let it go, and I'm so glad now that he wouldn't. The officer who showed up took one look at the ladders, the nail guns, the stack of shingles, and started asking questions I'd never been asked in my life. How long had I been doing this kind of work? Since I was 11. Who taught me? My Uncle Ray, once for about a week, and then he stopped coming and just dropped off job addresses. Job addresses, the officer repeated. That's when it came out. All of it, sitting on the curb with my hands wrapped in gauze. My parents died in a car accident when I was 10. Uncle Ray took me in, him and my Aunt Deb, and everyone told me how lucky I was that family stepped up. Ray ran a handyman and remodeling business. Within a year, I wasn't a kid he was raising. I was an unpaid crew. He dropped me at a house at 7 in the morning with a list. Demo a bathroom, haul debris, patch drywall, paint a whole unit, lay flooring. I taught myself most of it off my phone because if I did it wrong, Ray would dock it out of the room and board I supposedly owed him. By 14, he was sending me to jobs solo and telling the homeowners I was his apprentice and that I was 17. The officer wrote all of this down and kept stopping to look at me like he wanted to make sure I was real. How much does your uncle charge these people? I knew the numbers because I'd seen the invoices. A bathroom remodel ran $8,000-9,000. A flooring job a few thousand more. He booked 2 or 3 a month. And how much of that do you get? Nothing. I got a bedroom and dinner. I told the officer that like it was normal, because to me it was. They took me in. I owe them. He put his pen down for a second, then the harder questions. When did I last go to school? I was technically enrolled, but I missed most of it. Ray said jobs came first, and that school was for kids who had nothing better to do. Did I have friends? I used to. I hadn't seen anyone outside a job site in over a year, because weekends were for the bigger projects, the ones that needed 2 full days. When was the last time I did something just because I wanted to? I couldn't answer that one. I actually sat there trying to remember, and couldn't. And that's when I started crying, which was humiliating, on the curb, in front of a cop, at 15. Ray and Deb showed up an hour later. Ray came out of the truck already yelling that I'd cost him a job, that I was careless, that this was exactly why he couldn't trust me with anything. The officer stood up. Sir, this boy nearly died on a roof you sent him to work on alone. He's 15. Deb went straight into tears. The performance kind. Ray doubled down. That kid's been nothing but a drain since my brother dumped him on us. We fed him, we housed him, and this is what we get. The social worker who'd arrived by then said, very quietly, that they'd been running an unlicensed contracting operation on the unpaid labor of a minor in their custody for 4 years. Deb's tears shut off like a faucet. She turned to me with a look of pure hatred and said, we should have let the state take you. Best thing that ever happened to us was your parents dying, and now you've wrecked that too. I stepped back. The officer stepped between us. They arrested them both in the driveway. Child endangerment, labor violations, and something about the unlicensed business. The social worker asked if I had anyone. I told her about my grandmother, my mom's mom in another state, who Ray had told me for years didn't want me. It turned out she'd been trying to reach me since the funeral, and Ray had blocked her every time. She was on a plane the next morning. When she hugged me at the county office, she was shaking, and she kept saying, they told me you didn't want to come. We'd both been lied to for 5 years. I start real school in the fall. My hands healed. She won't let me climb a ladder to change a light bulb.